talking about this solely. Um, just kind of sprouted amongst personal experience uh, over the past, I don't know, few years, I guess I'll say. Maybe 5, 6 years. I'll say that 5, 6 years. From my experience, it's probably longer than that. I'm admittedly sometimes very detached from pop culture and society. Um, there's something happening to the interaction between the traditional male and female. And not to say that it's only affecting those specific um, people, because those are the roots. Those are the roots. That people are saying that there are other genders and things like that. I have no real insight or opinion on that. I don't care. That doesn't matter to me. It's not important. It's a very non-important thing that people have put a lot of importance on. I don't mean any offense in that, but that is the truth. It's an unimportant thing amongst a sea of much more important things. But anyway, there's a thing happening within the zeitgeist of like interaction between males and females. I don't know whether or not it affects same sex. In fact, I'll venture to say that it doesn't. Not in the same way. There's obviously going to be some overlap. There's sugar daddies and sugar moms and cougars and all that shit, but I don't I don't fucking look into that stuff. I know there is overlap though because I talk to people. But what I'm talking about is the concept of um, transactional relationships. It seems like that is the norm of um, relationships in general. I don't know whether or not I'm talking about friendships, just platonic, no sexual contact friendships. Anything past that, what I'm observing is an extreme level of transactional behavior. And I don't mean that in the sense of like bartering, I mean literal fiat currency. What are you going to give me? What are you going to buy me? What are you going to afford me? Relationships. And that's really concerning to me because it's like, just on the level of like, you know, if you watch my videos, you know how I feel about this place and how like weird it is. I'm not going to go into that because that'll take me on a whole other path that I have plenty of videos talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go look. There's plenty of videos of me saying how I feel about this place, many different hypotheses and explanations of research and all that shit. But essentially what I'm talking about right now is the level of transaction that I see within the dating pool, within the social networks that are existent in our society. um, People make a lot of videos talking about manipulation, including myself, manipulation into specific scenarios. Those things are true, but at the same time, like, can you really call all of it manipulation if you just willingly dive headfirst into it? The whole um, high value man and passenger princess dichotomy. What the fuck are you doing? You are confused, if not delusional. I am single currently and trying to date. I'm just like anyone else. I like to be social. I like uh, social interaction. I like sex, just like any other adult male or adult person. Um, but what I'm noticing within trying to like navigate these things is that all of these people, including the person that, I was with previous, are looking for transactional, like they're looking for specific things, and much of it is self-focused. It's very narcissistic. What do I want, and what can you do to give me that? It's not about partnership. People are making a huge deal of calling each other partners, my partner and I. You know, you're not fucking partners most of the time. You're finding a way to create a transactional loop. And obviously, I'm never talking in absolutes. I don't believe in absolutes, but like, it seems to me that the majority of beings that are in the dating realm or whatever, pool, whatever, are not really looking for what they say they're looking for. They'll say things, right? But then when you actually start to like talk to them or interact with them on any sort of beyond surface scale, they are looking for transactional shit. How much money do you have? Will you give me money? What possessions do you have? Do you have a house? Do you have a car? And some of those things are understandable from a certain degree, but if you're looking for a partner and you have a house or you have a car or you have more than enough fiat currency to support you and another being, why is that at the forefront of a thing? Obviously no one wants to be used. I definitely understand that, right? But for instance, if you come across a person, let's say that you are the person that makes a very decent amount of money, like more than you need for yourself, and to take it even a step further, enough to support two other people, yourself and potentially a child or something, or a pet or something, right? Why are you looking for someone to have as much as you have? Has anyone stopped for a second to think that? Beyond the concept of the economy and how fucked it is, I am the first to acknowledge that. Um, but beyond that, why is it that you need for the potential suitor that you're looking for to carry what you have if you already have it? Do you understand? If you have a house that you have bought, or even that you rent comfortably, meaning you're not looking at a situation where you may lose it at any moment. You are comfortable. You're not going to lose your rental or your house or your car and subsequent things. Why is it that you need the person that you find to also have those things? And why have we created these monikers like cougar? If a woman has all the things she needs and she is secure in that, she's secure in that. She doesn't need anything from anyone. Why is that a cougar? Why is that not just a woman? Do you understand? Do you get the subtle like manipulations of verbiage and social norms that we're constantly given? Like these things are deeply ingrained in society, but they're not lost on me, but I feel like they're lost on most people, and I don't really understand how people are not seeing these things. There's all these weird like podcasts, and they trickle into regular society in the sense of like I said, the high value man, the high value man. You make so much that you can just take care of yourself and your partner, but you don't view them as a partner. You view them as an employee, from what I can understand. And I say that ironically enough as someone who has gone through a similar experience from the opposite perspective. I was viewed as like property. I was viewed as an employee. I make more money than you, so do what I say. Um, I don't get that concept? Why would you want to be the person that is unsure if your significant other actually cares about you or if they just want to feel taken care of? They don't want to have to worry. We're in a society right now where worry is, I would think, the number one emotion. Anxiety, worry. What am I going to do? How am I going to do this? So if a person comes along and they have, sort of acceptable parameters for what they want from you, for you to be taken care of, do you need to love that person, right? And then uh, from the opposite from the polarization, passenger princess. There are many. I'll say from my perspective. I'm not trying to fucking piss anybody off. So grow up. Um, the passenger princess thing, where there are many women, and I would go so far as to say probably just uh, people from a feminine perspective. That doesn't mean women specifically, just a feminine perspective. There are many beings that are like, I'll do what you want, but you need to pay for all my shit. Essentially, it's not that deep. That's pretty much what it is like, I'll do what you want, but you need to pay for my shit. And then there's all these like kind of subgenres of it where it's like, I'm a strong and independent woman, but I want to be a passenger princess. They want both of those things at the same time, which is a paradox that does not make sense. You are kind of putting yourself out there as not stable when you say things like that. When you put out both of those things at the same time, you're making yourself very obvious to be like unstable, because those things don't match each other, right? Like, if you want to be a passenger princess to the high value man or whatever the fuck, you that doesn't they're not going to go for that, which I guess is what leads to those weird podcasts where it's like a table and there's like a dude or two and like 17 women that are all arguing for large amounts of time, talking about their perspectives on those things, when neither one of those things are realistic. The high value man is looking for a sex slave, the passenger princess is looking for a pimp, right? Can we agree on that? Is that strange to say? Because I don't think it is. I think it's exactly what I just said. The high value man is looking for a prostitute or a sex slave, and the passenger princess is looking for a madam or a pimp or an owner. But they don't want to believe that. They don't want to think of it that way. But that's what you're looking for. You can add all kinds of stipulations like, well, they've got to let me do this and I've got to have agency over this. But in reality, you are telling someone, I will do what you want, just give me money. Or I will give you money, you just do let me do whatever I want and you do what I say. Does this seem healthy to anyone out there? This seems to be the current norm, not absolute, but norm of the dating pool, and probably marriage also, because this isn't new. So there are people who are married or who are in long-term relationships that were founded, their foundation is in that dynamic. We are unhealthy as a society. We are, and I know that's not news, but like, I'm trying to give examples of all of the many ways that we are unhealthy, and we have a tendency to tribalize and call very specific small groups crazy for noticing these things and calling them out loud. You're calling people weird for not going along with your very weird and manipulative norms. That fucking sucks, dude. You guys are weird for that. Like, I don't know of another way to say that. I know that that's very, very like base level language, but I am a person, so that's the way I choose to say it. Like, and again, I'm not saying that this is the absolute, but it is very, very, very. It's more than common, is what I'll say. It is more than common. There are different levels of it, but when it seems to me, from I'll say from my experience, even when you get past those that say like, oh well, I'm not like that. I'm not like that. I really want a partner. I want a relationship, so on and so forth. When you get down to them telling you what they're looking for, it is transactional. And I would venture very, very assuredly to say that is probably the same from the opposite side of the spectrum, meaning the feminine side of the spectrum. Most of the time, I would imagine that those that have the means and capability that are masculine are saying, I have the money, I have the capability, you do what I say, I do what I want, and we are happy. They're telling you this. They're not asking you this. They're telling you this. What are we doing? I don't understand what we're doing, you know? It's it's very disturbing to me. And like even from this video, I'm sure that there will be some that will say, "Oh, well, what's up with you? You sound nuts." None of these observations are far off base or like weird or extreme. These, in fact, go look up High Value Man, go look up Passenger Princess, and look at the thousands of results that you get. Watch their videos, listen to the things that they say they want, listen to the things that they say are important to them, listen to the things that they say are base level. They don't even think they're strange for the things they're saying. What are we doing? Where are we? Anyway, I just thought that was interesting. This is not the video. This isn't the video, dude. I just thought I needed to say that because it's coming from personal frustration. Like I would like to spend time with people. I don't just mean women, but people. But I even find the high value man like psychology disgusting. Like I don't want to be around you, dude. I don't want to be around you talking to chicks like that. That's gross. Like it's very awkward and gross and I don't want to be around that. And then I also don't want to be around or pursue passenger princesses of any kind. You can fool yourself into thinking that you're a different kind because you have a job and you have your own. That's a big one. I have all my own, you should have the same, which fine. But many times, once you get past that, that's not what is actually happening. They do have their own in a sense. They may have, house, car, job, but they'll tell you, I want to be spoiled, or I want a life of luxury, or I want to travel a lot, but they don't want to. It's just very strange. But I'm out.